But remember, this is something we added this year of just up and coming, emerging leaders who are doing amazing things in the space. And we wanted to give them some stage time on here so you could get the benefit of seeing who they are, what they're about, what they're accomplishing, and what you can learn from that. So if I've got this correct, the first person I want you to welcome to the stage is Miss Sarah Marble.
Really tough decision. Driving to work, I knew when I got there, it was the shift that the holiday schedule came out. I knew that I was going to have to decide between signing up to take care of the people that would be in the hospital over Christmas or being at home with my boys, watching them open their presents Christmas morning. That decision is a decision that comes when you're a nurse. Nights, holidays, weekends, you have to sign up. You need to be there. I remember thinking, I'll take Christmas morning. It'll be my turn to do this. But I don't know that that's the dream that I signed up for. That American dream. We all have a dream, right? You have a dream. If you're in this room, come on, you've got a dream, a big dream. Was this the American dream, choosing between helping others in the hospital or being at home with my family? When I was 8 years old, I knew I was going to be a nurse. What could be better than a career getting paid to help people? How amazing is that, right? I went to nursing school. Worked really hard. It was actually one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. Right next to getting on stage in front of a couple thousand people. So, I worked really hard. I actually remember sitting in anatomy class, daydreaming. What am I going to buy with that nursing paycheck? What kind of car am I going to be able to get? Now, it's not as exciting as Mr. Darnell's wife in the Cadillac. For me, it was going to be a Honda Accord. That would be it, right? So I worked really hard. I graduated. Being the ambitious new nurse that I was, I opted to go for the intensive care unit. I was just going to dive right in. Night shift, that would be better, right? $2 more an hour. That nursing salary was going to make my dreams come true. It didn't take long for me to realize that although rewarding, nursing came at a price. Those 12-hour night shifts, sometimes they went on and on for 13 or 14 with no break, no lunch, taking care of patient after patient after patient, maybe understaffed, not being able to have the time that you need to devote to those people that were lying in that intensive care unit bed. It was an emotional toll, a physical toll, the toll that it took realizing that I was the one in that room watching that person as they left this life. With that American dream in my head, that was something that I wasn't prepared for. I do have to tell you though, working in the intensive care unit had its perks. There were some really cute guys that looked awesome in scrubs. So I met the man that I would marry, an awesome ICU nurse. We worked together in the intensive care unit. My dreams got bigger. We had 2 nursing salaries now. That would be the ticket, right? No, I have a better idea. idea. Let's send him to get his master's degree in anesthesia. Then we really will have made it. I'll have my nursing salary. He'll have a master's degree as a nurse anesthetist. Then we'll have the American dream. I kept on dreaming. I wanted a family. I wanted kids. I wanted to be a mom. But I didn't want to just be any mom. I wanted to be a mom who could do everything. Go to the games, be there, be at home, take care of a family. So John went to anesthesia school after I signed him up for that graduate entry exam and kind of shoved him on because I wasn't going to do the master's degree thing. So he went to anesthesia school, and while he was in school, I worked full-time, 12-hour night shifts. We were blessed with our first baby. That got interesting. I would work nights. John would keep the baby. I would stay home and sleep just while the baby slept while he was at school, doing everything that he needed to do. There was countless nights that the baby would need. So sleep-deprived, exhausted from school, he would pack the baby up into the carrier, drive him to the hospital where I was working so that I could feed the baby, get him to sleep, and then he would go back home hoping for just a few hours of sleep before he had to get up and go back to school. Fast forward to 2010. We are living the American dream. 2 boys. We've got the house. We've got the car. We've got the Honda, but it's a minivan. We went for the Odyssey. Woo! That's right, awesome, minivan. But let me tell you what, that American dream, the dream when I was 8 that I was looking forward to, being a nurse, having it all, that dream came with $100,000 plus nursing school loans, anesthesia school loans. We had a mortgage. We had that car note. Oh my goodness. And the kids, they were getting busier and busier and busier. Soccer games, baseball games. I'm working. John's working. Not only are we both working now, he's on call. He's got that little beeper that tells him where we can go, what days we can go. At the moment's notice, the pager would go off and we would have to drop everything and he's back at the hospital for those call shifts. I do remember thinking, is this it? Is this the dream? Was this what I was hoping for? When I was introduced to network marketing, I had no clue that I had been. I didn't know what it was. It was some products that I had found. I was just hoping to lose a little bit of baby weight. We won't mention that that baby was 4 at the time. So I found some products that I loved, and being thrifty, like I was, being a good wife and mom, I decided to join to get my products at wholesale. I then decided I'd share with my mom. She could join my team, right? Now please tell me I'm not the only one that signed up my mom. Who else has signed up their moms? Yes, okay, good, very good. That's the right thing to do, right? So, my next team member was the team member that my sponsor gave me to kind of motivate me a little bit, you know, to get me to kind of see the vision. Yeah, I still didn't know what we had. Our first annual company convention was coming up. I decided that I wanted to go to that convention with my first promotion. So I signed my husband up without him knowing. It was at that first ever company convention in a room less than 200 people that I started to realize what this network marketing thing was. Everybody was happy. Everybody was sharing story after story after story of lives being changed, people being touched. My eyes would literally open at that first event and I realized, this is something I want to do. Not only is this something I want to do, I think this is something that I can be really good at. Well, my mom and I decided we're going to get to work. So we leave that first convention having no clue what the work was that we were supposed to be doing. We decided, well, I guess we should do a meeting because that's maybe how we should do it. That first meeting, oh, I wouldn't have wished that on anybody. It was terrible. 6 people showed up. Actually 4, because 2 of them were my mom and my dad that sat in the front row cheering me on. It was awful. I had my note cards that I hid behind, literally trembled, hoping that people would realize what I had found and why I think that they should join me. 7 months into the business, just had these 3 people. My mom decides, you know, I think I could probably share, kind of help you out a little bit. So she calls her best friend, who's a hairdresser. She says, do you think I could put my business cards out where you cut hair? Maybe somebody will pick it up. Within a week, Denise, her hairdresser, comes running up to my mom and says, I'm ready to do this. I want to join your team. And my mom was like, oh, no, it's okay. You don't have to sign up. I just want you to send me some customers. You know, when you're cutting hair, you can just send them my way. And Denise said, I know a good thing when I see it. I want to do this with you. Now, when Andy was talking about challenges earlier, it's interesting. Everybody has challenges. And I have to tell you, I've lived a pretty blessed life. And my challenges were not going hungry or anything like that. But I do have to tell you, one of the biggest challenges was, after me deciding I'm going to do this, I think I can be really good at it. I had a husband who told me, no, you can't do this, and you're not going to do this. Being the good, submissive wife that I was, I told him, I am going to do this. With that decision to do this, I realized it was a timely one, since we were now pregnant with surprise baby number 3. That was the motivation, the turning point for me, saying, I am going to move forward with this, because now I have a 3rd baby on the way, and I wanted to stay home. I wanted to cherish every milestone with that baby. After my mom signed her hairdresser, sheer momentum brought me to a leadership position in our company. 9 short months after that convention, when I only had 3 people. It was then that I realized, with over 400 people looking at me, I still had no clue what I was doing. I started to think, there has to be people out here who know how to do this. There's got to be people who can help me figure out what I'm supposed to be doing. I didn't know about this mastermind thing, and I'll leave you guys. It was then that I realized I needed a mentor. So Facebook searches and a little bit of divine intervention, I stumbled on Sarah Robbins. I ordered her Rockstar Recruiting CDs. I remember listening to them the first time, literally getting tears in my eyes. It was nothing short of the heavens opening up and singing to me. This was the training that I needed. I knew it was out there. Sarah became my mentor without even realizing it. I listened to those CDs over and over and over again. And then I started to teach and train my team what I was learning. It was Sarah that introduced me to art, and a gifted box set of Mastermind 6, 7, and 8 launched me on my journey of personal growth and development. I didn't know that I needed to learn all of that to be a good leader and to move forward in network marketing. I started to trade my entertainment time for educational time. Because let's face it, 2 hours of DVR to American Idol, Parenthood and The Good Wife were not getting me any closer to my financial goals in my American dream. With those Mastermind CDs, I listened to them everywhere I went. You could often find me hiding in my driveway, away from the kids, listening over and over and over again. People like Warren Woodward, Chris Brady, all of these people that I had just stumbled on, this was the information, the knowledge that I needed to help move me forward. I also have to tell you that a quote by Randy Gage has stuck with me since I heard it. When I heard him say that hope is what brings you into network marketing, but belief is what can keep you there, I had no idea what belief was or that I would even need it until things got hard. Those Mastermind CDs created and instilled a belief in me that have carried me through my entire journey. You know, just like Warren Woodward says, you have to make a list, contact the people on the list, show the plan, follow through, and get them started right. I wish I had known that. I did know that I had found something that I wanted other people to have. Like one of my best friends, Casey. I went to nursing school with Casey, and she was the very first person after my mom that I wanted to share with, because I wanted her to join me in this amazing thing called network marketing. She politely said no thank you, and I kept revisiting over and over and over. She watched me for over a year. When she finally decided to take a leap of faith, it was a very divinely inspired time. You see, Casey was overworked, underpaid, working almost 60 hours a week as a nursing director. She was a single mom of 3 children at the time and had no idea how she had gotten to where she was. Life just wasn't adding up. When she decided to join our team, she managed to make 1 to 2 calls every day on her commute to and from work, and within a year was able to quit her job at the hospital, take care of her family. And we all love to take care of our family, but when it means that you have a new husband who at the age of 39 is fighting for his life because of viral-induced myocarditis. He was laying in a hospital bed, literally fighting for his life. Had she still had that 50-hour-plus work week with the boss who told her that she couldn't have a day off, she would not have been able to make the calls to find the specialist, to go state to state to state, to find the right specialist who would be able to help her husband get well. I will never forget the phone call when my dear friend Casey called me, and she said, "Sarah, thank you for continuing to share. Thank you for not giving up on me. Thank you for following up. Because of the residual income this network marketing opportunity has presented, I was able to be the caregiver and the breadwinner when my husband was too sick to do any of that. Thank you so much." Those calls, those stories are why I'm doing what I'm doing. I could stand here for an hour and tell you story after story after story of lives that are being changed, people that are being touched. It's amazing when you find success with network marketing, what you can give, what you can do, what you can dream. But even better, I'm getting paid to help people. But I don't have to decide anymore. It's not about deciding with my family or deciding if I'm going to help. Now with network marketing, I can have it all. And we really can have the American dream. Thank you.